5 brutal episode of Love, Death, and Robot Season 04 by ranking. Welcome back to our channel, Movie Creepers. Welcome back to the world of Love, Death, and Robots, where the only thing more unpredictable than the storytelling is a body count. Whether through unflinching violence, emotional devastation, or relentless dread, these 5 shorts left a mark. Let's break down and rank the 5 most brutal episodes from Season 4. Before we jump into the exploration, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on future videos. Thank you. Let's begin. 5. For He Can Creep, Season 4, Episode 10. For He Can Creep is one of the most surreal entries in Love, Death, and Robots Volume 4, a gothic fever dream where poetry becomes a weapon and a house cat defends the fate of humanity. Set in 18th century London, the short follows the real-life poet Christopher Smart, who's been locked in an asylum, plagued by visions and tormented by his own mind. But this isn't just a tale of madness. It's a supernatural showdown with none other than Satan himself. The setup is both absurd and brilliant. Satan, in full theatrical flair, appears not to conquer with fire and brimstone, but attempts Smart into writing a final, apocalyptic poem, a verse so powerful it could end the world. The poet, fragile and desperate for purpose, is swayed by the devil's promises. The real hero, though, is Jeffrey, Smart's fiercely loyal, unexpectedly badass cat, who launches into battle against hellish creatures in an effort to save his master's soul and, incidentally, the planet. While most entries in the anthology showcase brutality through gore, this short opts for a subtler, more cerebral cruelty. The horror lies in manipulation, Satan twisting Smart's yearning for artistic meaning into a weapon. It's the kind of torment that doesn't spill blood, but carves deep emotional wounds. Visually, the short is striking, rendered in a painterly style that blends classical oil painting aesthetics with fluid animation. The images are rich, textured, and gothic in every sense. But for all its visual power, the narrative doesn't quite land with the emotional depth it reaches for. The conflict between good and evil plays out more like a concept than a journey, leaving the ending feeling a bit hollow. Still, For He Can Creep deserves praise for its originality. Where else would you see a celestial duel fought through poetry and claw marks? It may not be the most violent short, but it's certainly one of the strangest, and in Love, Death, and Robots, that counts for a lot. 4. 400 Boys, Season 4, Episode 4. This one feels like it was ripped from the pages of a dystopian samurai manga, soaked in motor oil and blood. In a crumbling futuristic city, gangs of genetically modified teens clash for control, following an ancient warrior code that's been twisted into survival doctrine. There's an immediate visual punch, raw, stylized, and kinetic, with hand-drawn elements that stand out in a sea of CG-heavy short. The brutality here is front and center. From the opening scene, there's a sense of unease, like violence is always one heartbeat away. And when it hits hard, limbs severed in slow motion, bodies hurled across buildings, weapons designed or elegance used instead for slaughter. Yet, the brutality isn't just physical. 400 Boys weaponizes atmosphere. Every alley reeks of desperation. The tension between rival clans, especially once a third, more ruthless faction enters, makes the audience feel like betrayal is inevitable. What makes this short especially grim is how it teases unity. Enemies come together out of necessity, but instead of hope, we get a sense of delay. Death is postponed, not prevented. The storytelling might be a bit uneven, a build-up without a satisfying release, but the brutality of its world lingers. This short doesn't need a twist. Its message is clear. Honor means nothing when survival is all that's left. 3. Spider Rose, Season 4, Episode 3. Few shorts in Love, Death, and Robots try to do as much as Spider Rose, and fewer still combine body horror, corporate warfare, emotional trauma, and interspecies bonding in one narrative. We follow a woman modified almost beyond recognition, living and working on a lonely asteroid base. She's grieving, she's angry, and she's ready for vengeance against the people who killed her partner. What makes this episode brutal isn't just the violence, which is frequent detail and often hard to look at, but the emotional decay that underscores every scene. You can feel the weight of her solitude in every quiet moment, every sterile hallway, every mechanical breath she takes. The introduction of the alien creature, part pet, part symbiote, part emotional crutch, adds a fascinating dynamic. It's both comforting and disturbing, forcing her to open up even as it reflects the unnatural world she lives in. And when the revenge plot finally ignites, it doesn't explode with triumph. It fizzles into tragedy, as the consequences of her actions collapse everything around her. Despite stunning visuals in a unique setting, Spider Rose suffers from a lack of cohesion. The emotional narrative and the sci-fi epic seem to be fighting for screen time. But when it goes dark, and it's this disjointed but intense blend that earns a place in the top 3. 2. Close Encounters of the Many Kind, Season 4, Episode 2. At first glance, Close Encounters of the Many-Kind looks like a toy commercial gone rogue, and that's exactly what makes it so unsettling. Using tilt-shift photography and exaggerated scale, the episode presents Earth as a plastic diorama, its inhabitants reduced to figurines. It's a quirky, clever aesthetic, right up until the aliens show up and the chaos begins. What follows is pure, hyper-stylized carnage. The brutality here isn't soaked in blood. It's served with a wink and a grin. Buildings collapse like cardboard boxes, humans are obliterated like ants under a magnifying glass, and cows are abducted mid-moo. It's funny, absurd, and disturbingly cruel. Every frame bursts with color and motion, blending catastrophe with comedy. A dog wielding a missile launcher, scientists getting anal probe mid-scream, a UFO crashing into a frat party. It's all so ridiculous. You almost forget you're watching the total annihilation of humanity. That's the trick. The violence is cartoonish, but its implications are horrifying. The more you laugh, the more you start to question what you're laughing at. This is brutality masked as satire, the same flavor that made Night of the Mini-Dead a standout in Volume 3. But here, the scope is even bigger. The episode riffs on every alien invasion trope. Little green men, tractor beams, towering robots, and panicked governments, all presented with manic glee. It's like watching every classic sci-fi film mashed into a single, unhinged fever dream. What makes it truly memorable isn't just the destruction, but how gleefully it's delivered. There's no time to mourn, no time to breathe, just wave after wave of hilariously grim chaos. In the end, Close Encounters of the Many-Kind is less about survival and more about spectacle. It's a miniature apocalypse, gift wrapped in absurdity, and it hits harder because you never see the brutality coming until it's too late. One, How Zeke Got Religion, Season 4, Episode 8. And here it is, the most brutal short of Volume 4. How Zeke Got Religion throws us into World War II and doesn't pull any punches. A, B. 17 bomber crew is sent on a mysterious mission. Bomb a church before the Nazis can awaken an ancient evil. What starts as a historical fantasy quickly descends into a Lovecraftian nightmare. Visually, this is a standout. The 2D animation evokes classic war comics. Bold lines, harsh shadows, grimy textures. The characters feel like real people, and when they start dying, it's fast, bloody, and merciless. Limbs torn off, faces melted, soldiers dragged screaming into dark corners. Every death is choreographed to maximize impact. The creature design is equally horrific, a swirling mass of teeth, eyes, and tendrils that radiates hopelessness. But what makes this short truly devastating is the pacing. Once the horror begins, it never lets up. There's no time to regroup, no safe moment to catch your breath. The church becomes a charnel house, the mission devolving into pure survival. Zeke himself, a character you're just starting to understand, is given the most horrifying path to redemption. Religion, in this context, isn't salvation. It's damnation with a holy seal. The ending doesn't offer peace. It offers more death, more ambiguity, and a final image that will haunt viewers long after credits roll. Of all the shorts this season, this is the one that combines physical brutality, thematic darkness, and narrative urgency most effectively. It's not just a great episode, it's a full-body experience. The final takeaway. So, what was your most brutal pick from Volume 4? Was it one of these 5, or something entirely different? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's wildest animated series. Let me know what you think. Like this video if you agree, subscribe for more discussions, and comment your thoughts below.